Okay, guys, so let's start. Welcome to this Q&A webinar of mine. I just thought after doing the face-to-face interview, I was receiving a lot of questions about the strategy. A lot of people have been trading my expiry strategy quite successfully since I came out with my video in June. So what I'll do today is I'll quickly do a review of the last four strategies. So in my last YouTube video, I had done a review of the first expiry of July review. I think it was 7th July or 8th of July. So I'd posted that review video on YouTube. What I'll do today is I'll quickly review the other three expiries of or four expiries of July. Show you what the PNL was if my strategy was followed, and then we'll come to kind of taking questions on the strategy. I had posted a video on pair trading as well, so I'm happy to take some questions on pair trading as well. Please use the this free webinar Q&A group I have created to post your questions so that I can answer them one by one. Uh, right. So let us start with the expiry review first. Okay, this is my Twitter. Right. So this is 15th of July. So 15th of July was the next expiry. Uh, I thought I'll review this first with you guys. These are 15 minutes charts of Nifty Spot. Uh, and as you can see, this is the second candle here, right? So this was the first candle here. This is the second candle here, uh, which I use to choose my strikes, as I explained in my interview. So these are the two levels which I look at: the high of the candle and the low of the candle. The high of the candle was 15,897. The low of the candle was 15,878. So as per my interview, I said that, look at around 180 to 100 points out of the money strike from this high and low to sell. And the challenge right now is that the premium sometimes, especially on the call side, for 100 points out of the money are very low. So they're like 1 or 2 rupees. So you really can't sell 1 or 2 rupees and buy hedge also to make ROI. So currently this week, what I've seen this month, what I've seen is that I'm forced to choose even 50-60 points out of the money call strike to trade, which is absolutely fine. Till the time your risk and reward is in your favor, you can take the trade on 50 points, 60 points out of the money as well. uh, Obviously, from a risk management perspective, we take only 2 trades on one side maximum. If we have both the trades hit stop loss, we stop trading the that side completely. So even on a bad day, if we have to choose 50 points out of the money call, and if we get two stop losses, we do not lose a lot. Yeah. But if you end up actually making money, then because your risk to reward is more than 1:1, you end up making more money than what you have lost. Okay. So let's see what happened this day. Obviously, I chose 15,000. So I chose 15,800 put, which is around 70-80 points below the low. So let me just mark here: 15,800 put was somewhere here, let's say here somewhere. And I had chosen 15,950 call, and I'll just show you why I had chosen 950 call and why not 16,000 call in a minute. But let me just show you the option charts. This is 15th of July, Nifty put 15,800. I had chosen, this is 15 minutes chart of that put. And as you can see, this was the second candle here on 15th of July. The high of this candle was 10 rupees 80 paisa. The low of the candle was 9 rupees. So as per my strategy, I placed a sell at uh, at 8 rupees 50 paisa. Yeah, so I placed a sell at 8 rupees 50 paisa here, somewhere here, and I placed my stop loss order 50 paisa above 1080, so somewhere at around 1130, 1140. uh, and obviously I bought the hedges. What happened was, immediately, because the market was going up, because the market, as you can see, went up the next candle, the put gave a sell immediately. Yeah. And as soon as the put gave a sell, I sold. I placed my stop loss order. I had bought 1 rupee hedge, obviously, and the entire day the put kept on falling, did not hit my stop loss, and I made this 8 rupees 50 paisa on put. Yeah. So let me just simply do the maths here. On 15th of July. Okay, can people stop drawing on my screen? On 15th of July, on the put side, I made 8 rupee 50 paisa profit. I lost 1 rupee in hedge. So net, I made 7 point, net I made 7.5 profit on the put side. Yeah, on the call side, let's go to the call and let's see what the call did this day. I had chosen 15,950, and the reason for that was that if I chose 16,000 call, which was around 100 points ODM, I'll show you. See the premiums here, right? So this is your first candle, this is your second candle. The low of this candle is 1 rupee 95 paisa. The high is 2 rupee 40 paisa. If we sell 50 paisa below the low at 1 rupee 50 paisa, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to sell an option at 1 rupee 50 paisa. So I decided to actually choose 15,950 call. Yeah. And the 15,950 call, these are the charts. Yeah, this was the second candle here, guys. This was the second candle here. Yeah, the high of this candle is 615, the low of the candle is 5. So you can sell a 4.5 rupee option. It is still better. The risk and reward is quite good. You are taking 2 rupee risk and you are targeting 4.5 rupee as a profit. So I obviously placed a sell here as well in advance at 4 rupees 50 paisa and was waiting for this order to trigger. This order got triggered in the second half, in the actually the last dying, like last 45 minutes. So this order got triggered at around 245 to 50. I sold it. As soon as I sold it, I placed my stop loss at around 6 rupees 50 paisa here, and obviously the stop loss was not triggered and this also became 0. So on the call side, if I sold it at 450, I lost 1 rupee in the hedge. Actually, at that time, I had bought the hedge in the morning itself, so I was at one point even gaining in the hedge. But anyways, if I do the maths simply, oops, sorry, what did I do? Come back. Yeah, if I simply do the maths, I made 3.5 points profit in the call as well after removing the hedge. In total, I made 11 points profit on this expiry, and 11 points profit, as I explained to you, is roughly around 1.5% profit of your capital if you are hedging, right? So on 8th of July, I had made around 1.5% profit. On 15th of July as well, I made 1.5% profit. Yeah. So this was 15th of July. Let's see the next one. I think the next one was 22nd of July. So let's see what happened on 22nd of July. Let's go back to the charts. Let me delete everything. Okay. Let me just stop my share and share my screen again. Okay, I hope you can see my screen again. Can you just confirm, guys, in the Telegram group, you can see my screen again? Yes, no? Yes, okay, cool. All right, so let me go back. So the next expiry was 22nd of July. Yeah, this is 22nd of July. Let me just confirm again. Next expiry was 22nd of July. So this is the next expiry, 22nd of July. This is the second candle here. Very clearly a bullish day. Yeah, very clearly a bullish day. These are the highs and lows of this candle. So the high was 15,771. The low was 15,752. So again, I chose 650, 100 points OTM put. So let's see what it was trading at. 15,650. It was 650, right? So yeah, 650 put. Let's see the charts. Yep, here you go. So this is the second candle here. Again, as you can see, the option prices are very low, very low on this expiry as well, right? So the low was 385, the high was 495. I could have sold it at 335, 50 paisa below the low, with a stop loss of 545. So I would have got only 3 points, 3.5 points. I kind of actually on that day decided to go with 15,700 put, because I look to get at least 6-7 points credit, or at least 5 points credit, if not more. And that has been the problem of the current market, that the premiums are so low, the VIX is so low, the premiums are so low, you have to go near closer to the ATM to get some meaningful premiums. So this was a candle I took. The low was 9, the high was 1170. So I placed a sell. Obviously, I bought the hedge before this candle closed. Then I placed a sell at 850, somewhere here, and the sell got triggered by the next candle. I placed my stop loss around 1220. So my stop loss was somewhere here. Yeah, and clearly the stop loss did not trigger, and I made a very clean 8 rupee 50 paisa on my put. So let's go back to Excel. So again, 8 rupee 50 paisa on put. Hedge was, so this is the hedge. Hedge was bought for 1 rupee. So I made 7.5 rupees on the put on this expiry as well. Very tension-free trading. There was no stress at all from a put perspective this day. And let's see what happened on the call side. Yeah. So let's go back. The call 770. So I selected 850 call. Obviously around 80 points above the high. Yeah. So call 15,850 call. Right. So this is, yeah. So this is 7,850 call. Again, see, the problem is on this day, the high of the this candle, second candle, was 450, 440. The low was 350. If I'm selling, then I'm selling at 3 rupees. So it really, kind of doesn't make sense to sell it at 350. As I said, I target at least 5 to 6 points minimum. So on this day, I actually went for 800 call. I actually went for 800 call. The problem, so this is the second candle of 800 call. The high was 13, the low was 1115. So I placed my sell at around 11. Yeah, I placed my sell at around 11, which is here. Around 11, which is here. It actually did not trigger. So the low of this candle is 1105. So it did not actually trigger my sell. Yeah. So, and then it just shot up. The call just shot up. And the other thing which happened was that as soon as the call shot up, at around 11 o'clock, 11:15, the 15,800 call became in the money. And once a strike which I have chosen becomes in the money, I don't trade that. I don't trade that at all. Then I look at the next strike to sell. So the next strike obviously was 850 strike. So after 11 o'clock, I started watching only the 850 strike. Yeah. I started watching the 850 strike, and so this was at around, kind of 11 o'clock. After this, I actually placed a sell order for 850 strike. I know it is giving me only 3.5 rupees, but I know that in the second half, as I had, I think, shared in the past as well, if I get a sell in the second half, then the premiums melt very fast. So what I did was, in the second half, at around after 12:30, once I knew that 800 call was in the money, I knew that maybe 850 call can go to zero, 800 may not go to zero. So I placed my sell at around 350, at around 350, sorry, at around, so this was 350 at around 3 rupees. Yeah, so somewhere here, I placed my sell here. Yeah, and then what happened? I got the sell at around 11:15. I had placed my stop loss here, 50 paisa above this high, so around 490. So 490 was here. Yeah, it went and hit my stop loss. So I lost 290 and 490. I lost 2 points in the first trade. Yeah, so I lost 2 points in the first trade, and I had taken the hedge also, obviously. So this is how. But then it gave a sell again. It fell down again, and then it became zero. So I got my 3 points here as well. So -2 and +3, I got 1 net in the call. I lost 1 in the hedge, which I had bought in the morning itself, and net on the call side, I was breaking even. So I made only on the put side around 7.5 points, which I explained in my interview also. It's roughly 1% if you are hedging. Yeah. So this was the ROI on 15th. I had already made 1.5% on 8th, which I have already put a YouTube video about. So I made 150 ROI on 15th. I made 7.5 points, 1% ROI on 22nd. And let's see what happened on 29th. Yeah, so let's see what happened on 29th. This was the 5th expiry of the month. Yeah. So let's go back to the charts. Let me delete everything. Okay. 29th, 29th. Yeah, here is 29th. Again, a very clear, kind of chart. This is the second candle high. This is the second candle low. So 736 was the low. So I first, kind of looked at 650, 15,650 put. So let's look at 15,650 put on 29th of July. Yep, here you go. So again, very clean charts. This was the second candle. The high is 1250. The low is 690. Yeah. So this is a good example. I wanted to show this. So here, if I take an entry, my entry will be at around 640. Yeah. And my stop loss would have been 50 paisa above this, so around 13. Yeah. So somewhere here, right? Now, obviously, I will be getting 650. My stop loss is another 650. I'm getting 1:1, right? So if this becomes zero, I'll get 650, but I'll lose 1 rupee on hedge. But if my stop loss hits, I will lose 650 as well. So I'll actually lose more than what I'll get. So on this day, I did not choose this candle. I actually chose the third candle for put, and I kept my stop loss here. I put my sell price here, 50 paisa below this low. So this was 535, somewhere here. And my stop loss was 50 paisa above 875. So around 925. Yeah. So this is the trade I actually took. So instead of making slightly more, I made less, but my risk was smaller. Yeah. So I made 535 on the put side, 5.35 on the put side. I lost 1 rupee to hedge. I made 4.5 rupees. On the call side, yeah, the high was 760. So my natural, obviously, tendency is to go 100 points out of the money to see what kind of premiums are available. So I went 90 points out of the money, 15,850 call. Okay, so let's see 15,850 call. What were the premiums available at that time? Okay, so this is the last day. So again, see, it was the same problem. The premiums are very low, right? The high is 545, the low is 4, and I don't want to sell such low premiums at the day start. So I actually went and I looked at 800 call. Yeah, because I wanted to look for higher premiums. And on 800 call, as you can see, we had trouble, right? So the high was 1545, the low was 12. So what I did was I placed a sell at 1150. Yeah, I placed a sell at 1150 and I waited, but I also keep looking at the charts. And what happened, guys? As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. I got a sell here on the fourth candle. Yeah, I got a sell here on the fourth candle, and the high was 1545. So 16, around 16, I put my stop loss, and my stop loss was taken out. Yeah, so I lost around 1150 to 16. 1150 to 16 is 4.5 points. I lost 4.5 points, but by this time, when my stop loss was hit, this 800 had already become in the money. And as I said, as soon as something becomes in the money, I don't trade that. Yeah, this 800 became in the money. So after this stop loss was hit, I did not take any trade in this till the last minute. Till the last minute, right? So in the second half only, I will take a trade. So the first thing I do is I go to 850. Okay. So what I did was once my 800, so I lost 4.5. Let me just record it. I lost 4.5 rupee in this. Now I am not trading the call. That call I'm looking for this one. But here again the premiums are so low. I would not take this trade till the last minute, right? So I actually sold this in the second half only. I sold it only after 2 o'clock. So 350. I sold it somewhere here, right? So I'm not taking all these trades here because it's all like, I'm waiting for to take a trade after like 2 o'clock. And this is where the drop happened. This is where the drop happened. This is where I got the sell at 2 o'clock. I immediately put my stop loss at here, 50 paisa above this. Yeah. And then it kind of went down and became zero. So I recovered 3.5 points here. Yeah. So I recovered my 3.5 points here. So actually net, I lost only 1.5 points on the call side, plus I lost 1 point on the hedge. I lost 2.5 points. Net in this expiry, I made only like 1.85 points profit, which is almost like breaking even, right? So it is kind of just enough to cover my brokerage. Yeah. So these are 4, so 15, 22nd, 29th, and on 1st and on 8th, I had made 1.5 each, right? So on 1st and on 8th also, I had made around 1.5% return. So in the month, I kind of ended up making, in these 4 expiries, I ended up making around 5% return, right? Even if you take out all the charges and expenses and 20 rupee brokerage per trade and all that stuff, you still kind of, end up making 4%, 4.5% in the month, which is quite good, right? Yes, last expiry was not that profitable. It was not loss making, but it was like enough profit to break even. Yeah. So this is, I think this is also, something which I shared in my YouTube interview, that this will give you profit on 80-85% times. Yes, there will be 10% times where you will end up either breaking even or you will end up with a small loss. But the beauty of the system is that it should not give you a big loss which will ruin your capital. It will never do that. It will just keep giving you consistent profit every month, and you just keep on compounding and gaining from it. Okay, so this is a review of the last 4 expiries of July. I'll obviously put this video on YouTube so that everybody can see. But I'm happy to take any questions people have on this method now. So I'm going to the Telegram channel where people are posting their questions. So let me just go up and see what are the questions related to the, so what's a good exit strategy to book profit and know when to exit? In this method, Pradeep, obviously the good strategy is to close your position once it's kind of, you know, below 50 paisa, I would say, or 40 paisa, 30 paisa. Even if you kind of hold it till the end, it doesn't really matter, right? So you can exit it when it's like 20, 25 paisa. Otherwise, you can hold it. What is the best time to take trade on expiry day? I've already explained that, Aditya. It is not about the time, it is about the levels of the option. And yes, once an option becomes in the money, then you don't take a trade in that option unless you are getting a sell after like 2:30, because after that time the chances of stop loss hitting are very low. Okay, pair trading, there is some questions. I'll come back to pair trading in a while. Let me answer these questions on expiry. Okay, what's Calamar ratio of expiry trade? I would rather Rahul, why don't you calculate that for us and let us know what the Calamar ratio is of this expiry trade. Expiry trade, Navi is asking under what conditions it's better not to trade that expiry, when to leave second candle and go for the third and fourth. I've just explained that, Navi. So you leave the second candle when your risk to reward ratio is bad. If your risk to reward ratio is not 1:1 or more than that, you should not trade that candle. You look for a smaller candle. You can look for the third candle or the fourth candle. Okay. Okay, Gigi sir, please review expiry trade of the last 3 weeks. Yeah, I have just done that, Rahul. Hope you like it. Okay. Any other questions? When to make inverted short strangles and what is the best way to manage it? In my strategy, we never make inverted short strangles, SKK. So I can't answer that question. A large group of number. Yeah, Gigi sir, to answer this question, many traders say if the strategy is used by large group of numbers, then the strategy will lose its edge. For example, after you have share face to face, then earlier the risk to reward was 1:2, 1:3, whereas now we get almost 1:1. Yeah, okay, Mukul. So I think this may be true, this may not be true, that a trading system loses edge when a lot of people start following it. I don't think a lot of people actually, first of all, you need to define what do we mean by a lot of people, a lot of traders, right? We have probably 500,000 traders or more in India. Yeah, 500,000 or 1,000,000 traders. How many people do you think are following my expiry strategy or any strategy, right? I think there are more people who are following moving averages, kind of strategies, or trend line strategies, or breakdown strategies, and even they are making money. My expiry strategy, I don't know, maybe 100 people are following, 200 people are following, 300 people are following. That's a very small number, right? There are still another like 500,000 traders sitting out there who are not following this strategy. So I don't think it's kind of being followed by so many people that we should even worry about whether it will lose its edge or not. But even if it's being followed by a lot of people, the truth is that on expiry, the OTM option has to become zero, right? So either the call will become a zero or put will become a zero. So even if all the people are following this strategy, it will not lose its edge. It will just mean that everybody is trying to sell and there is no buyer. But it doesn't mean that it will start giving you losses. So first of all, I don't think a lot of people are using this strategy, because of which we should be scared of. And B, even if 10% of the traders in India start using it, there are still other 90% who will not use it, and those 10% will still keep making money. Okay. So last expiry, second candle is too big and also call premium was less. What to do in such cases? Yeah, absolutely. I just explained that, Sumit, that if you've got a very big candle, then you look for the third candle or the fourth candle. If the premium is too less on any side, then don't take that trade. Yeah. The premium being too less is also a trap, right? We have seen how markets have been running even when the call premiums have been so less in the last 3-4 expiries. So if you're not getting a trade on an expiry, don't take it. That's the best option. Yeah, this is a question for a low VIX environment. As soon as we see like 300, 400, 500 points correction, the VIX will go up, the premiums will become healthy again. Okay, I think Narendra has tried to answer it. Ayush, in expiry date index trading strategy, rules for profit booking to reduce risk. Your risk is anyways very small, right? Your stop loss is smaller than your target, so you don't need to worry about booking it early. But yeah, if the option premium, like you have sold something at 10 rupees, stop loss is 13 rupees or 14 rupees, and now the option is trading at 2 rupees, you can book profit because you're still getting 1:2 of better than 1:1 RR. You can still book profit if you're too worried. Otherwise, you can just book partial and hold the rest with the given stop loss. When we sell low premiums, 3 to 4 rupees, SL hit again and again because of gamma. Yeah, I've just explained that. Don't sell anything if it's at 3 rupees, 4 rupees. Yeah, skip that strike. Don't trade that leg at all. Trade it only if you are getting a sell in the last like 1 hour. Otherwise, don't take it. How to put proper stop loss to better risk reward? I've just explained the stop loss. So you have to put in a SLM order for Nifty. Usually the option prices don't jump, or don't jump the stop losses or freeze for Nifty. So it's quite safe. You can put a SLM order or put a stop loss limit order with a 2-3 point gap between the trigger price and the limit price, and you will be okay. Okay. Hi Gigi Gupta sir. When and how will we get the webinar joining link? Okay. How much low premium can we sell on expiry? Yeah, Roshan, I've just explained in this method, you should target at selling at least 6 points, 5 to 6 points in the first half. In the second half, if you are getting a sell, even 3-4 points are good enough. Okay, question. SL hit on one side. SL hit on one side multiple times. Each SL hit position is increased. The opposite side does not cover loss as position size is original. No, don't increase your position, Lokesh. I never said that please increase your position. In this strategy, as a learner, you should keep your position size constant. Okay, and multiple times it cannot hit multiple times. If it has hit 2 times for any side, you stop trading and accept the loss in that expiry and move on. Okay. What if the hedge position is costly enough, like it happened in the last expiry? How many SLs can we afford? Also, if this case, see if the premiums are very low, intraday, VIC, don't trade that expiry, right? Don't trade the expiry if the premiums are very low. You can go ahead with one leg, yes. You can go ahead with one leg also, that is fine. But always, if you are getting a sell on the other side after 2:30, take that trade and make some money. Yeah, usually in the morning, if the premiums are very low for this strategy, don't take the trade in the first half. Wait for the second half. Either one of them will fall, right? So whether it's call or put, one of them will fall in the second half and take the trade at that time. So many themes are there. If any price less than 40% can choose again 85% and still the same adjustment can be made. Okay, I think trader is answering a question. Okay, Vipul has asked a question. Algo for this strategy. So I don't have an algo for this strategy right now, Vipul. I need somebody to code it. If somebody can code it, let me know. I'll use it as well. Is it fixed 50 paisa for limit and SL order with any premium price, or we run according to the situation? GG sir, you impose 75 paisa in expiry. Yeah, I just kind of keep a round number sometimes. So if it is like, if your stop loss is like coming out as 12 rupee 85 paisa, then I say, I'll use 13 rupees as a stop loss. So that's why sometimes I use 65 paisa, sometimes I use 75 paisa, but anything between 50 paisa and 1 rupee is good, right? If the premiums are high, then I used to use 1 rupee filter. If I'm selling something at 15 rupees, stop loss is like, 17.5, then I'll use 18 as a stop loss or 18.5 as a stop loss. Yeah. But if the premiums are low, then 50 paisa is good enough. Okay. November 2020 was one tough month for you. What was the reason behind this? Too much volatility or anything? Yeah. November 2020 was not a tough month. It was just one expiry where I lost. I went very greedy because November was when I think the intraday leverage was being removed or it was being scaled down dramatically. So till November, I was using like 20x, 30x intraday leverage on expiries. And I was trading very conservatively. So because it was the last expiry with 20 times leverage, I just went very aggressive. I lost money in that expiry. So it was not a bad month. It was just one bad expiry. And in that, and I think I explained that in my Telegram channel as well that this is just one of the strategies I use on expiries. I have other strategies also which are slightly complicated, which I cannot explain, which I use on expiry trades, and I deploy larger capital for those strategies. So I was using that strategy on that expiry in November, and I lost like 2% of my capital, or I think 3% of my capital in just one expiry. But at the day start itself, I had decided that I'll take like 3% stop loss today, but I'll target making 3-4% return as well, because this is the last expiry. So I really took on very large quantities on that one day, and markets I think became very bearish, kept on falling, and I just couldn't manage my sold puts. I had to keep booking losses in my sold puts that day. Okay, question: which tools do we need, paid or free? So you need only free tools to use this expiry method. If you just need your broker terminal and your broker's charts, and that should be enough. How can we automate using coding or Python? Yeah, I'm not a coder, Mata Prasad Agarwal, so I can't answer this question. But I'm sure there are a lot of coders out there who can automate it very easily. Please suggest the fund for margin pledge. Any fund, any debt fund. I invest in like L&T liquid fund, HDFC liquid fund. You can choose any liquid fund if you're just planning to pledge it to use margin. Millionaire question: if volatility high, then premium is high. So how can we do proper risk management? Your risk management is based on the stop loss of the trade, right? Millionaire. So if the stop loss, you have to look at the how big is the stop loss on that day, and accordingly decide your either you can change your position size, or you can choose the candle and wait for a smaller candle and then use it to keep your stop loss small. Sir, what are the factors involved in choosing 50 points away strike? I hope I explained that in just this kind of run through of the last 3-4 expiries, Nilesh. I look to, in the current VIX environment, I am looking to sell at least 5-6 points premium. So sometimes it's available only 50 points out of the money. So I go and sell 50 points out of the money. It has its inherent risk. So because you're selling just 50 points out of the money, even a 25 points move up will hit your stop loss. But that's a risk you are taking. I mean, there's no point selling a 2 rupee option or a 1 rupee option. Yeah, I mean, you can do it. It's much safer, but I don't find any merit in doing that. I would rather not trade if the premiums are not there, and wait and trade only in the second half. Okay. Do I consider other factors like OI or CPR? No, I don't look at open interest. I don't look at CPR or anything. See, this is again, I feel it's a waste of time looking at open interest, because what it just shows is where are the most number of calls and puts sold right now. Yeah, that's the only thing which is depicted by open interest. It cannot tell you where the market will go. Yeah, so many times, especially on expiries, we see that open interest is always built up in the nearest 100 points, kind of OTM, kind of round number strike, whether it's call or put. So a lot of algo traders, a lot of machine traders, they automatically sell like 50-70 points out of the money call and put, and their algo keeps on kind of rotating it, adjusting it, rolling it up, rolling it down. So these algos, these machines are programmed to move with the market. So the open interest also moves with the market. As soon as you see important like level where there is highest open interest sitting, as soon as you see that mark kind of breached, let's say there is a lot of open interest at 15,800 call, and market is at 15,750. As soon as 15,800 call is breached on the upside, you very quickly will see that the open interest starts getting unwinded, and 15,800 call writers, they start booking loss, and they roll up to 15,850. All of that is done through machines or through algos, right? So just because there is a lot of open interest at 15,800 doesn't mean market will not go above 15,800. So why are we even wasting our time looking at open interest when it means nothing? Yeah. So that's why I don't look at open interest and CPR etc. at all when I'm trading. Okay. Question. On 15 July call, would you trade higher quantity since the trade was triggered after 2 to 30? Yes. PBS. After 2 to 30, if there is a trade getting triggered, I trade with higher quantity. Sir, what will happen if we don't close our sold position? If they are out of the money, they'll just expire at zero. Mega. It will just expire at zero. Unless it's a MIS intraday position, which will get auto squared off. Sir, margin required for initiating one lot. I think I explained that in my face-to-face video, Vinay, that if you are doing a naked call selling, then I think with 50 lot size, now I think you need around 1.1 lakh margin, maybe 1.2 lakh margin. But if you are doing it with hedging, where you are buying an out of the money call as well or a put as well, then your margin comes down to like 35,000, 40,000 rupees per lot. Okay. If the stop loss is triggered in the morning, do you also exit from hedge or keep the hedge running? No, I keep the hedge running, Natasha. See, sometimes what happens is that the hedge also goes up. If the hedge is also gone up, then I'll book the hedge. And then I'll wait. If I feel that the option will give me a sell again, then I re-enter the hedge. Right. So I sometimes book the profit in hedge. Right. Let's say I bought it at 1 rupee. When my stop loss is hit, that 1 rupee becomes 1.5 or 1.7. I will book that 70 points profit. And when I get the sell again in the option, at that time the hedge will be available at like 80 paisa, 90 paisa. So then I buy the hedge again. So I do that. But you can do that if you're doing large quantity. If you're doing small quantity, you don't need to do that. Okay. PB hedge should not be exited as you might have to re-enter later. Yeah, I mean, you can exit if you are getting profits in the hedge. What capital you consider to calculate ROI? I'm considering one lot capital, 50,000, 60,000 capital, 50,000 capital per lot for a call and a put with hedge JW. Smallest capital, we can try this strategy. You can try this with 1 lakh also, Mata Prasad. Expiry. If SL is more than the total premium, is it advisable to choose that strike? No. If your stop loss is bigger than the premium, then you don't take that trade. You wait for the next candle, a smaller candle. Sir, please share recording also in the busy. Yeah, I'll upload the recording on YouTube. How you found this strategy? Like we can also make our strategy like this. If yes, how? I mean, it's all based on experience, chart reading, Rudra. We just keep thinking about new ways of making money, and you come up with something profitable. There is no like there's no science behind it. It's like just comes to you. It's like an art, not a science. Unless you are a coder, you can do a lot of back testing. It's not a science for me. GG bhai, expiry trade one, under what condition it's better not to trade that expiry? If the premiums are very low, or if the first 4 candles are very big and your risk and reward is not in your favor, you don't trade, Rahul. When to leave second candle and go for the third candle or fourth? When the second candle is very big, when your stop loss basically is bigger than the premium you can earn, you don't take that trade. Can we use same strategy on Wednesday too and exit at 315? You can use it on any day. It is just that the option will not go to zero on other days. Yeah. But if the risk reward is in your favor, you can do it on other days as well. Harjeev, for expiry day trading, what capital did you start with, and how and when did you scale up to the current capital of 1 crore? I started with like 20 lakhs a couple of years back. Then I scaled up to like 30, 40 lakh, then 50 lakh. Then I traded with 50 lakh for almost 6-7 months. And then I scaled to 1 crore. And very soon now I am going to scale it up further. Hopefully by end of this month, I'll scale it up further. Okay. And what risk reward will you avoid taking a trade? Anything which is less than 1:1 risk reward, I will not take the trade, Harjeev. Which strategy was useful for Bank Nifty? I don't trade Bank Nifty. Me too. I don't trade it at all. So I'm not the expert on Bank Nifty. I can't answer this. Share your YouTube channel. Yeah, I'll post the link here. You guys can go and subscribe there. Pete, since the probability of success is more in second half, can we just trade in the second half on the defined levels? See, the problem with that is that if you just wait for the second half, then on a trending day, you will miss the trade. because your one leg will give a sell in the morning and it will become zero by the second half. And your other leg, which is like running up, it may not give you a sell at all. So if you wait for the second half, you will not get the trade at all on some expiries. Yeah. So it's better to take a trade in the morning. Yeah. Till the time the option is out of the money. And then if you are getting a trade later on in the second half, then you take that trade as well. Vinayak Bhatt, if you have a capital of 1 crore, how much value you sell call and put? Let's say if your put triggers first for 50 lakh, you sell put reserve balance for call. Let me first of all clarify that I do not use my entire 1 crore capital to do this strategy. As I said, I have got multiple strategies on expiry. So I deploy most of my capital doing those various strategies. Yeah. So for this strategy, I don't deploy more than, right now I'm not deploying more than like 20-30 lakh rupees to this strategy. Yeah. Now you may ask why am I not putting more than 20-30 lakhs in this strategy? That's only and only because I enjoy doing the other strategy, which is I call the active strategy, which requires a lot of adjustments throughout the day. I feel more comfortable because in the other strategy, I tend to see green throughout the day on my screen, right? So I don't see a lot of market losses. Whereas in this strategy, if you get one or two stop losses at the start of the day, then you see mark to market losses for the half of the day, and then it turns green only in the second half when the options fall. Whereas in the other strategies I try to keep my mark to market profit in green for most of the day. Yeah, so that's the reason I don't deploy very large capital on this strategy yet. I'm slowly kind of scaling up. But coming to your question, if I had 1 crore on this capital deployed on this strategy, then I will place a sell for like 75 lakhs for call as well as for put, both. Yeah. CG, sir, can you explain the part of number of lot to be executed in 1 lakh CP before the other leg is executed 25 lakhs? So with 25 lakh capital, you can do 25 lots to start with, CG. Simple maths. Okay, 1 lakh per lot. And then gradually you can go to 1.5 lot per lakh. Yeah. So if you have 10 lakh, you can go to 15 lots. If you have 25 lakhs, you can go to then 35 lots. But start with 1:1, 1 lot per lakh, and then scale up. If you are making, say, 2 points in hedge itself, can we book it and again hedge it? Yes, you can do that, DT. You can book the profit in hedge if your stop loss is hit. Okay. How about Bank Nifty? Same strategy. I don't trade Bank Nifty, so I can't answer it. You'll have to backtest yourself. If market is trading one direction, should we go only one side call or P? Yeah, if it will force you to go one side, right? The other side will not give you a sell. So it will force you to go one side. At what time hedges should be squared off to avoid margin penalties? I square off at like 320. I don't hold it till the last like 329. I square off everything by 320. Can you show us live execution of trades on any expiry day? It will help us gain confidence. No, I cannot. CG, I cannot do that. I have done that in the past. People have tried copying me, and because I am very quick, I can make adjustments very quickly. Other people cannot. Some people may lose, and I don't want that to happen. I don't want to take that responsibility. Mega, please share your Telegram channel link. I've tried a lot but couldn't find. Yeah, Mega, I'll just post it here after the webinar. Sir, one last question. If we pledge, can we take this trade with just collateral, or we need some cash component as well, maybe liquid Bs or cash? We trade with just or we need cash component, maybe liquid Bs or yeah. I always have like 20%, 25% cash. Rest 75% can be in any liquid fund. Sir, please can you suggest any weekly option selling strategy since my funds are idle from Friday to Wednesday? Yeah, I do a chai pani trade, which I discussed in my. I did a paid webinar recently. I discussed that how to you utilize your funds which are sitting idle on other days to do very low risk strategy, which gives you around 10% return per annum, 10-11% return per annum over and above the returns which you are getting on collateral. So I've explained that in my paid webinar. So I'll probably do that sometime later. Can you teach swing or short-term trading? Yeah, I can teach a lot of stuff, but not in this webinar, Sumit. Maybe in some other webinar. Aditya Dixit, please explain the 5th August strategy. So sorry, the swing and short-term trading, I have explained that in my paid webinar recently, and people are making a lot of money in that. So you can join my paid webinar next time whenever I do. Please explain the 5th August expiry, spike in calls which wipe out the sellers. 5th August, I will cover in the next video for where I will review all the August expiries in one go, Aditya. Sir, another strategy you use most, if any, please tell us, sir. Maybe the next time, Vinay, not today. You use stop loss order or SLM order once sell is triggered. I use the sell for sell. I place a SLM order. For sell, I use an SLM order. Okay. All right, guys. So it's almost 1 hour. Not many people have asked questions around the pair trade. So only Navi had asked me a question on pair trade. So I'll answer his question one to one. But if there is any other question on expiry, please ask very quickly. Otherwise I'll close this webinar in the next 7 minutes. To do backtesting, which site? I don't use any backtesting sites personally, Ankur. I mean, there is one site called Stockmark, which people use for straddles and strangle backtesting. I don't know how accurate it is. Yeah, the problem with backtesting softwares or sites is that they do not account for slippages. They do not account for SL jumping and all that stuff. So I don't know how much you can rely on these backtesting sites, but yeah, I think there is Quantiply, there is Stockmark, there are a couple of others. I'm sure if you Google them, you will find them very easily. Okay, so how do you select pairs? How are pairs different from So I just do 10, 12 pairs, Ruchir. So primarily in financials. So like Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Finserv, Nifty, Bank Nifty, Nifty, HDFC Bank, Nifty, HDFC, Nifty, let's say HDFC, Kotak Bank, Nifty, Kotak Bank. So, I have selected these like 10 stocks and I do a combination of pairs in them. So my favorite 10 are like Nifty, Bank Nifty, HDFC, HDFC Bank, Bajaj Finance, Bajaj Finserv, Kotak Bank, and sometimes I do insurance pairs also. So ICICI, Prudential Life, HDFC Life. These are some of my 6, 7 like favorite pairs. And I think if you trade in 6, 7 pairs, that is enough. Yeah, pair trade, how to trade. I think I've posted a YouTube video on how to trade pairs. Vinod, you can go to my channel and see that YouTube video. There are 2 videos actually on that will tell you which platform you need to see and how to trade pairs. How are pair trades different from arbitrage? Is when you are like selling the same stock in 2 different markets. Yeah, or when you are buying in cash and selling in future. That is arbitrage. Arbitrage is basically you are trading the same stock in either 2 different markets or in 2 different segments. Yeah. Whereas pair trade is where you are trading 2 different stocks, where you are buying one and selling the other. That is what is called a pair trade. Okay. Which strategy builder is best? I think I use Opstra. Some people use Sensible for option. I'm assuming you are asking for option strategy builder. So these 2 platforms are quite good. What are the major pairs? I've just explained that. Rishabh, do you combine options? No, I don't combine options with them. How can we sell more than 5,000 quantity in one go? There are some uh, automated tools available, algos available, where you can even put 50,000 quantity. And what it will do is it will slice your order and it will send multiple orders to your trading platform. and place them. I am currently trialing one of them. It's called Console Coder. I'm just trialing them right now, but it's kind of working fine. In the first week, it's kind of worked fine. iChart that you are using is free or paid? It is paid. iChart version which I am using is a paid version. Okay, our slippages are more in Nifty as well. Your user slippages are there everywhere. Obviously, Nifty there is less slippage than Bank Nifty options. So the more liquid a stock is, the less slippage you will see. The more illiquid the stock or the option is, the higher slippages you will see. Okay, you don't trade Reliance and Nifty pair. No, I don't trade Reliance and Nifty pair. ITC कब ऊपर जाएगा भगवान? जाएगा जाएगा, एक दिन आएगा जब वो भी ऊपर जाएगा. Okay, guys. So 2 more minutes left. It was, I think, great chatting with you all. And what I'll do now is I'll finish this webinar and I'll post it on the YouTube, my YouTube channel. I'll post the link of the YouTube channel in this Telegram group and also the link to my other Telegram group so that people can join, and then I'll remove this group by evening. So thank you for joining, and I'll continue to post more videos. Yep. Thanks everyone.